Today I want to talk about 12 albums that I believe are underappreciated albums, seemingly lost amongst the Yes and Floyd and ELP masterpieces. The number one spot may just be the brainiest record ever made. But let's get into it. Number 12, Fictitious Sports, Nick Mason. So, Nick Mason is honestly one of my favorite Floyd members to hear speak in an interview. I know that sounds weird, but the man's sort of dry, deadpan British wit, I believe, is a national treasure. And this quirky charm, personality, bleeds over into this record. Now, some people dismiss this as some sort of bizarre novelty. But it's actually a full-blown avant jazz prog album that's hiding under Nick's name. I know it's written entirely by Carla Bley, but and it features the vocal work of Robert White, so that gives it its prog chops there. But this trades, Floyd's stadium sound for sort of a brass-heavy Canterbury sound with weird time signatures. It's funny, it's musical. And I believe that it is criminally slept on by fans everywhere. Number 11, You by Gong. I don't know why I adore Gong so much, but listening to them sort of like opening a giant Christmas present. I mean, you never know what sort of bizarre toy you're going to find that you're going to pull out of the box. It always seems to put a smile on my face listening to them. So this is the climax of the Radio Gnome Invisible trilogy. I believe it gets unfairly written off as sort of a hippy-dippy sort of space cadet fluff. But really, it's an absolute powerhouse of explosive space fusion. You got Hillage's blazing guitar. You got the synth wizardry on here. Tracks like Master Builder, sort of push it past that fairy tale silliness. And it's like total sonic ecstasy. It's like pure, unfiltered musical joy. I love it. Number 10, Visions of the Emerald Beyond by Mahavishnu Orchestra. Look, I feel like hyperspeed jazz fusion can sometimes feel less like music and more like a algebra exam. But this record is awesome. I mean, everybody who drools over the Inner Mounting Flame and Birds of Fire, I mean, I just don't feel like this gets nowhere near the love it deserves. This takes John McLaughlin's fretboard speed, and it's like it wraps it in these funk grooves, and it's like this. It balances sort of like these solos with delicate, mystical arrangements. And every time I hear this, it just blows my mind. I love it. Coming in at number 9 is Fish Out of Water by Chris Squire. Every time I hear this record, I sort of think, wow, how on earth did this not end up being a Yes album? It was recorded, while Yes was taking a breather, so to speak. And Chris, he brings in Patrick Moraz and Bill Bruford and Mel Collins, and they put this album together, and it's just incredible. I mean, the soaring brass orchestration on Holding On. You got that epic surge of Safe canon. I love the opener, Hold Out Your Hand. Squire proved that his iconic Rickenbacker wasn't just a heartbeat of Yes, but it's like a weapon of mass destruction when it comes to music. So it's basically the lost Yes masterpiece, I feel. Coming in at number 8 is Interview by Gentle Giant. We all appreciate Freehand, which I believe is Gentle Giant's best album, and Octopus, which is a close second to me. But I've always had a massive affection and appreciation for this album. It's a biting concept record, and it's sort of like one of their tightest, I believe, very inventive writing on this album. The vocal arrangements on Design, just unbelievable. Gentle Giant's always doing these incredible vocal arrangements. It's like your inner nerd doing backflips, you know. But their technical brilliance was just light years ahead of everyone, it seems. And at some point, I'm going to be doing a video about the technicality of Gentle Giant. Number 7, Bundles by Soft Machine. You know, the purists complain that Soft Machine completely ditched their sort of psychedelic roots by 1965, but, you know, I don't care. To me, this is jaw-dropping. Bundles introduced the world to Alan Holdsworth, and his just fluid, lightning fast playing on hazard profiles just completely reshaped how I looked at electric guitar. And, you know, it took what could have been this sort of standard jazz rock jam and turned it into this school of speed and melody and harmonics. And it's just sort of a lightning in a bottle record, and I will defend it to my dying day. Coming in at number 6 is going to be Ocean by Eloy. You know, Eloy was sort of crafting this space prog symphonies, but they somehow just completely was forgotten by everyone. It's like, I guess they're sort of Pink Floyd's little brother or something, but you know, they've got these thumping bass lines, they got these swirling mini moog leads, and you know, the story, the concept story on the album, Ocean, just sort of delivers this massive atmospheric wall of sound that made me fall in love with Pink Floyd, you know. And it's just this immersive album, and I'm just downright evangelical about this. Any Prog fan worth their salt needs this album. Coming in at number 5 is going to be Enigmatic Ocean. So, gosh, that's Jean-Luc Ponty. I immediately think that Ponty's playing is just otherworldly. And I know I say that about a lot of these artists, but you know, what really kills me about this record is the absolute unit of a band he assembled. You know, you've got Alan Holdsworth, you got Daryl Stumer, you've got, you know, they're trading these sort of incendiary guitar solos. You got Steve Smith and his just unreal drumming. You got tracks like Mirage that sort of bridge the gap between jazz fusion and sort of like a cinematic Prog atmosphere. I mean, it's a total tour de force, and I love this album. It's just like a steak dinner for the ears. Coming in at number 4 is For Girls Who Grow Plump in the Night by Caravan. Caravan is sort of like comfort food Prog. There's just something sort of cozy and warm about them and their British charm. I married a British woman, by the way, so I understand that. It feels like right at home. So, you know, while everybody points to The Land of Grey and Pink as the big one, this album is the one I reach for a little bit more, and I do enjoy The Land of Grey and Pink. But, you know, for this one, it's sort of like you've got this massive, lush orchestral arrangement during the whole album. You've got Memory Lane, Hugh, Head King. It's just this rich, catchy, ridiculously fun, just packed with fuzzy organ leads. You know, it just never fails to lift my spirits. It just makes me happy. Coming in at number 3 is Atom Heart Mother by Pink Floyd. You all know Floyd is my favorite band of all time, and I'm going to defend Atom Heart Mother until my final breath. I don't care what the critics think. I don't even care what Gilmour or Waters themselves say about this album. This is Floyd at their most bravely experimental. And, you know, the Atom Heart Mother suite, mixing the brass and the choir and the rock dynamics, it's just pure magic to me. you know, and inside 2, you've got some of the my favorite pastoral sort of acoustic tunes that the band ever laid down. It's just this ambitious, delightfully weird album, and it has Summer 68 to it, or on it. So, you know, that's, again, a very underrated track. Number 2 is Ars Longa Vita Brevis by the Nice. I brought this up before, but right near the top of the heap here is this incredible, criminally underrated album that's been sort of buried under the sands of time. I think it's a masterpiece. You know, everybody jumps straight to ELP when they sort of want their Keith Emerson fix. But this is the exact moment I feel where 60s psychedelia grew up and turned into full-blown prog. And I get a massive kick out of listening to side 2's 4-movement suite. And, you know, it's just like Keith Emerson combines Bach and Sibelius, and just, it's just this unhinged playing. You know, long before ELP, he was laying the entire blueprint for 70s keyboard virtuosity right here on this one. And speaking of keyboard virtuosity, number 1 is Egg by Egg, taking the absolute crown here for me. It's a record I love with every fiber of my being, and almost no one outside of hardcore Canterbury fans ever talks about it. It's their self-titled album. You want to talk about raw, brainy, organ-driven genius. I mean, Dave Stewart and company here, they deliver this total masterclass right out of the gate. Mind-bending, asymmetric time signatures. You got the sidelong classical infused epic symphony number 2. You know, this record is equal parts brilliant complexity, and it's just not pretentious. It's just quirky. It's completely wicked. You know how brilliant the techniques are here. My favorite song off this one is I Will Be Absorbed. I absolutely adore that song and this entire album, and that makes it the single most underrated progressive rock album, hands down, for me. So those are my 12. If you like it, give me a thumbs up, share this video, and subscribe. And until next time, you guys take care.